Hello, everybody. Just a quick feedback session regarding today's Black Monday. I know it's a Sunday, but it is a Black Monday protest against farm murders that I managed to attend in Cape Town alongside Jeremy Nell. Very well attended protest, very well attended demonstration. It was limited to only about 500 people thanks to the COVID-19 restrictions, but nonetheless, it was still packed. Pretty much, I'd say it was easily 500 people that attended. There were no weird symbols of old flags floating around, racist slogans, anything like that. Everyone kept to the dignity of the event. The message was clear, the message was pure, it was unfiltered, it was straight. And I think that everyone involved in it can give themselves a good slap on the back and be proud of themselves and what they've done. Now, I actually tweeted about it. I made some comments. I got some strange return comments about the old flag comment about why it's relevant to say. I'm not saying it being apologetic. I'm saying it to point out to the mainstream corporate media who like making a meal of bullshit stories and fake news about trying to detract from the legitimacy of the event by saying, oh, look, here's another old flag or here's another racist symbol. None of that stuff was present. I didn't see a single old flag blowing in the wind, not one. The organizers also made it quite clear that that would not be welcome. And I think 26 years after the end of the previous regime, that really doesn't hold any relevance in 2020 anymore. We're trying to build something new and we're trying to address a serious problem without having politics and nonsense detract from it. That also said, I really liked Corne Mulder's speech where he made it patently clear that there's no point in asking Cyril Ramaphosa or the ANC to step in and help. They're not going to be bringing the commando system back. They will not prioritize farm murders. They will not prioritize, well, they're not prioritizing murder in general. Like, there's no reason for them when they can't even look after the absolute murderous hellhole their voting base lives in Khayelitsha and Gugulethu. Why would they give a fuck about farmers? They just couldn't care less, and they won't. I'll stop short of saying that they actively, openly endorse it, but the fact that President Ramaphosa could go and speak publicly at an international event and deny that farmers are even getting murdered at all really tells you all you need to know about this man and his sentiments. The fact that he's willing to lie about it, he might as well be endorsing it. Okay, you're not going to find help from him. And there's a painful lesson in this, in the sense that regardless of who you are, you need to stop outsourcing your personal safety and security, the security of your community, the well-being and welfare of your community, your friends, your families, your cities, your neighborhoods, whatever you want to call it, your industries, to the government. They are not worthy to be entrusted with that level of responsibility. They have proven themselves incapable of it, of shouldering it. They've proven themselves incapable of performing those basic tasks that in a rational, reasonable country should be a matter of course for them. In the Republic of South Africa, that's not how it works. You are responsible for your own shit, for want of a better word. There are existing frameworks that we can expand upon, and I will expand upon further in due course as I compile the document and my thoughts on it, within which you as a farming community can legally, lawfully, and responsibly create a system, a network that allows you to own the space in which the criminal element operates to prevent them from, at will, brazenly doing what they do. And that same framework is applicable in cities, in suburbs, in townships. Okay, it can be transferred and transposed, but it requires active, involved citizenry and citizens to shoulder this responsibility themselves and to try and find the funding and financing and implement the infrastructure and build the infrastructure and institutions required for it. This can be done. None of this is impossible to do. None of it is rocket science or rocket surgery. It just requires a certain element of willpower and acknowledgement that the problem will not be solved by somebody else and that you have to solve it yourself. That's really what it comes down to. And we'll expand about this more in time. But we also need to perhaps acknowledge that farm murders are a far bigger problem than just for the farming community. Every farm attack, every farm murder sends ripples of destruction through entire rural communities. So we really can be and should be addressing this as a matter of rural safety, rural security, rural welfare. where all rural communities can be covered under the same blanket of a safety and security initiative. There are many positive externalities to approaching it that way, in the sense of you start looking at things holistically. The impact of your efforts will be felt far more broadly and far more widely, but that is a topic for another day, and in fact I might even do a live stream about it at some point. That's all I got to say. I think it was a successful day. I think everyone can be really proud of it, and I think it was a good message, and hopefully a few people woke up, as long as we all understand that the President, the government, the ANC and the South African Police Service and Bheki Cele are not going to perform their duties according to their constitutional mandates and look after all citizens of the country. They only care about themselves, they only care about their own enrichment, and they only care about feathering their own nests. They couldn't give a stuff about the farmers, the farm workers, or the rural communities. And I think we best remember that. Thank you and goodbye.